Imagine you're a local patrol officer on the graveyard shift. You've just pulled over a suspicious vehicle on a dark, empty street. You step out of your cruiser, flashlight in hand, and approach the glass. You shine your light into the back seat and see the face of Joaquín Guzmán, El Chapo. In this moment, you aren't just looking at a criminal. You are looking at the most powerful drug lord on earth. Immediately, you are forced into an agonizing choice. You can accept a bribe that makes you an instant multimillionaire, or you can do your job and effectively sign a death warrant for yourself and everyone you love. The legendary capture of El Chapo didn't happen because of a grand military strike. It came down to a terrifying test of two ordinary men who decided in a split second that they were not for sale. To understand why they didn't take the money, you have to see who was behind the badge. Arturo was an officer on the brink. He was haunted by PTSD from a botched hostage rescue and was drowning in debt, working double shifts just to keep a roof over his pregnant wife, Isa. His partner for the night was a rookie named Rosales, a man Arturo didn't trust for a second. Rosales wore a luxury watch that cost more than a year's salary, and Arturo had watched him whispering to shady informants on the street corner. In this system, suspicion is a survival tool. The cartels have so thoroughly infiltrated the police that a uniform is often just a mask for the enemy. You never truly know if the man in the seat next to you is a partner or a spy. While El Chapo was escaping a massive military raid through an underground tunnel, Arturo and Rosales were just miles away. By sheer chance, they intercepted the Kingpin's hijacked getaway car. El Chapo planned for the army, he planned for the Federals, but he had no plan for a debt-ridden veteran and a suspicious rookie who had absolutely nothing left to lose. Arturo and Rosales drew their weapons, but they knew the moment they looked El Chapo in the eye, they were marked. The cartel had their faces and their patrol car number. If they didn't kill him or let him go right then, they were dead men walking. El Chapo remained perfectly calm, offering a bribe that escalated from millions to generational wealth. Arturo looked at the man offering to buy his future, but he saw the architect of the very violence that caused his PTSD. He realized that taking this money wouldn't fix his life. It would ensure his child grew up in the same blood-soaked world he was trying to escape. He kept his gun level. The refusal triggered an immediate consequence. Cartel hitmen swarmed the location, and the night dissolved into a storm of gunfire and shattered glass at a nearby petrol station. This was the moment for Rosales to run or betray his partner. Instead, he stepped into the line of fire, shielding Arturo and suppressing the shooters long enough for them to scramble back to their car. As they fled, Arturo used his phone to snap a photo of El Chapo in the back seat and sent it straight to the commissioner. He was making sure the arrest was a matter of public record before the cartel could erase them. That shootout incinerated the distrust between the two officers. They were no longer a broken veteran and a suspicious rookie. They were the only two people they could trust to stay alive. Outgunned and hunted, they retreated to Motel del Puerto. It was a tactical nightmare, trying to hide the world's most wanted man in a public building where any bystander could leak their location. Inside the room, El Chapo stopped offering money and started using Arturo's life as a scalpel. He spoke about Arturo's pregnant wife by name, describing exactly what his hitman would do to her while Arturo was trapped in this room. The threat became real when Arturo's phone rang. It was Isa. Over the line, Arturo heard the sound of breaking glass and the rapid crack of small arms fire. His home was under siege. The crisis finally broke. The Mexican army reached the house just in time to secure Isa, while inside the motel, Rosales finally revealed the truth about his watch. It wasn't a cartel bribe, it was a family heirloom, the only thing left of his father. The motel room proved that law enforcement isn't just about surviving an ambush. It's about maintaining your integrity while a predator uses your love for your family as a weapon against you. At dawn, the sound of heavy rotors filled the air. Naval forces moved in, and El Chapo was finally led out of the motel in chains, ending the most intense manhunt in history. The arrest held. El Chapo was extradited to the United States and sentenced to life plus 30 years in a maximum security prison. But as the victory was announced, the two officers were pushed into the shadows. High-ranking commanders and politicians scrambled in front of the cameras to claim the credit, barely mentioning the two patrolmen who actually made the arrest. For Arturo and Rosales, the reward was a life in exile. Because they didn't take the bribe, they will be hunted by the cartel for the rest of their lives. They were stripped of their identities and moved to a classified location overseas. In a corrupt system, true integrity doesn't always lead to a promotion or a parade. Sometimes the men who capture the king have to become ghosts just to survive the night.